You have seen product images on the website, social media, and stores and been like,
Man, damn! How you do that?
I mean, of course, you've put common sense and been like, to make this, I need a professional camera, lighting setup, a nice location. But what if you don't have all of that? Or what if you want to create surreal images that breaks the laws of physics? 3D. The answer is 3D. If you don't know, a lot of stuff nowadays is made in 3D softwares. It is hard to believe for someone who is new to it because it looks so realistic. But I'm not here to teach you how to use a 3D software today. There's a lot of stuff out there for it. And there's a lot of softwares out there, both free and paid, and all of them have their own perks. But what I'll be doing today is to let you know things that helped me creating professional images like this, or this, or maybe this. And these things are fundamentals, meaning whichever software you use, you can still apply these things in that. So, number 1, references. Yeah, I know, cliche, boring first point anyone can ever make in their video, but yeah, it is important. Ask any musician, any scientist, any historian, or any OF creator, we always get inspired from what was made before, no matter how unique and inspirational your work is. There's an interesting video, Everything is a Remix, by Kirby Ferguson. He knows what I'm talking about. But apart from inspiration, references are so important in 3D renders. It is great for exploring the kind of theme you want to put in your renders, type of lighting, and most importantly, to understand how textures and models look in real life when doing any 3D modeling or texturing. Here's a YouTuber renderer using references, and here's Smeef using references. So don't be afraid to use references. It is not cheating. Well, I mean, unless you're just copying everything as it is and telling people you came up with this stuff. Okay, so number 2. Models or modeling. I said models along with modeling because even though I can make models, I am more of a product animator. But yeah, modeling is pretty important. It is a base for your 3D render, and you better not mess up your base, just like you don't want the base of the building wobbly. We were actually discussing about it in a LinkedIn post by Kiko Fan along with Will Gibbons, that what is more important, 3D modeling or 3D rendering? I like Will Gibbons' reply in this. I'd argue it is like asking which is more important, the bread or the peanut butter and jelly. Both are equally important, but without bread, it is going to be hard to enjoy your peanut butter and jelly. Here's a good 3D model in a scene, and here's a bad 3D model in the same scene and lighting. Yeah. Just remember, you have to have a good peanut butter and jelly. I mean, models. Have good models. Or make you good models. Number 3. Texturing. Just like a good model is the base for a good rendering, in my opinion, good texturing is a base for realistic rendering, especially for objects that are close to the viewer in the image, because closer things need more details, and if your textures are low quality or unrealistic, they'll break your renders. This is the reason Blender Guru, aka the Donut Guy, has created Polygon, a website to get high quality textures, because Andrew Price understood the importance of good quality textures. Textures doesn't stop with just the base texture of how those things are supposed to look. For example, here's a 3D wooden table with just base textures. And here's a photograph of a wooden table. Can you figure out what makes the 3D table look fake the most? The lack of scratches and dust. These kind of surface imperfections like dust, smudges, and scratches are important to make things look more realistic. Otherwise, the 3D models look too clean to look realistic. All in all, textures are really important to make things realistic or to give your art style a certain style. Number 4, lighting. I think this is one of my favorite part, partly because it is one of the things that you have to do in both 3D and in real life photography. You mostly don't have to take care about things like modeling and texturing when doing real life photography, but lighting, that's important to set up in both cases. Lighting is also crucial for setting a mood or theme to a render. You can go dramatic, neutral, energetic, nostalgic, and literally anything you want when you set up appropriate lighting. For example, dramatic lighting is very popular to showcase products. Check out this animation by Will Gibbons. The lighting in this, along with the music, is purposely set this way to introduce something elegant, mysterious, or legendary. The shadows play as much role as lights in it, if not more. Actually, this makes me say this. Just like music would be considered noise without any quiet parts and rhythm, the same way a good render is a balance between light and shadows. The proportion of light and shadows change the mood of the render, and too much of anything makes it a bad render in my opinion. Will Gibbons has a great YouTube channel where he shares his decade worth of experience for free, and he has great courses if you like to learn things in a more structured way. I'd recommend you to check it out. These 4 things, references, good models, texturing, and lighting are very crucial, and whenever I look back on my previous renders, the mistakes I did in those were one of those 4 things that I didn't put much focus in. Okay, let's just do something. Now that we know these 4 things that helped me in the past, let's just apply them in a 3D scene. The best way to learn is to apply things practically, right? So click on the video, which I guess is on this part of the screen, to see me apply these 4 things practically. I'll see you guys over there.